Alright, good morning guys. How you doing today? I'm just I'm going to be doing something that a lot of people have asked me questions about, and it's mainly about stainless steel pans. They for some reason they can't make a fried egg in a stainless steel pan. And one of the big problems is you got to make sure that you preheat your stainless steel pan very well, and you got to make sure that you have enough fat or oil or butter or whatever you're going to be cooking with to help flavor it. When I make my eggs, I like to use butter. I'm preheating my pan right now. You want to make sure it's at your cooking temperature or a little bit above, because when you put the cold eggs in it, it's going to drop the pan temperature down. You don't add your butter or your oil or your fat that you're using until your pan is hot enough and you're ready to cook. A lot of people make the mistake of putting it in early, it melts, then what happens is everything sticks to your pan at that point because the pan's not hot enough to fry the egg when you first put it in there. It just basically adheres to it, kind of like a meat does on a grill, but the egg doesn't release any oils out of it to release it off your pan. So this morning is just going to be a real quick video on how I get my pan nice and warm. I start a minute or two before I start cooking to make sure that my pan is plenty hot enough, and then after I put my butter in, I make sure that I get my eggs right in on top of the melted butter to help cool the butter down so it doesn't burn, and so it kind of regulates my temperature for me. So let's see if this is going to work. I'm going to go ahead and put my butter in. Swirl it around a little bit. Make sure it melts. You can see it's melting, but it's not actually getting to the point to where it's burning, which means I'm probably just about the right temperature to put my eggs in. Now when you put your eggs in, you want to make sure that you put them in on top of the butter. You don't want to avoid the butter. You want to make sure that the butter is going to do its job. So you take your egg, you put it in, it sizzles, let you know that it's cooking. You can see that the eggs almost automatically turn white at the bottom. That lets you know that they're cooking right off the bat as soon as you put them in. You can see if I shake it a little bit, the egg over here is moving, so I know that it's not stuck to my pan. Sorry for my voice, I've been sick for the past week. So we just want to make sure that they fully cook through. You want to make sure they get good and brown around the edges. You can see how they're bubbling, which means they're coming up off the pan, so that will ensure to me that they're not sticking. My pan might be a little hot. You can see that the butter is burning a little bit on that side, so I just slid the pan off to center my eggs over the heat in the pan, so that way I won't continue to burn the butter. Now when I make my eggs with a yolk, I like to flip them for a second or two, just enough to, you know, get all this slimy area out. I don't like slimy eggs at all. And that also fries the top of the yolk a little bit, and it kind of holds it to make sure that I don't break it when I pull it back out of the pan. And it also gives you a real nice fry taste on that yolk. It's almost like a hard-boiled egg flavor with butter. So now we're going to check it. And you can see how I can get underneath of it. It's not a problem. You can see it's stuck a little bit over here in the pan, but they should be fine. Gonna wait for another second. They're almost done on the top, so this is where I like to flip mine. Flip it over. Oh, broke that yolk. Flip that one over. Make sure the whole top gets cooked. Just wait a second. Take the eggs out. Flip them back over on your plate. Take your pan off the heat. And there you go. You have eggs. You still have a nice yolk in them. Except for the one I broke, obviously. But that's not a pan issue. So, there you go. That's it. Just remember, guys, every day you are encountered with problems or something that you have to deal with, and the best way to deal with that is knowledge. That will be your edge for every day. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.